It's Ebro in the morning. It's Hot 97. We have Laura Styles, we have Rosenberg, and I want y'all to give a round of applause for Karrine Steffans, aka Superhead. He's here on the program.
Wait a minute. Can I not get the AKA? It's too early.
No, that doesn't apply no more.
It's never applied to me. I've never used that.
Never.
Oh, really? I've never, ever, ever in my life used that. That was such a bad joke. I wish we never started that joke because you know how like jokes run. You have a running joke.
I thought you was cool with this.
No. I've never introduced myself. I've never been cool with that.
You just pre-interviewed with her for 5 minutes, establishing everything you could and couldn't do.
Talked about my mom.
Yeah.
Like,
and Superhead. No.
I'm leaving. This is bullshit. I'm out of here.
That happened the last time.
Your guess was that at this point in her life,
I'm 36 years old.
She was fond of the name.
Yeah.
Superhead.
Yeah.
Is that what you thought?
I assumed that she used it as just to own her past.
Like it's on my business card? Like
No. It was just
in the middle.
It was the brand. You know what I mean? That's what
not
moved
my
these books.
brand. No, it's not.
Karrine Steffans is the brand.
Thank you. The white boy knows.
So damn.
Well, I gotta be white boy though. See, it's diminutive. She doesn't realize that. It's a negative.
So you don't feel that your past and the name has helped you create this brand?
No. Not at all. That would have killed it before I created it. Cause that's not hot. It's easy for people to negate that because it's so derogatory.
But people negate you because of your past.
They don't. You think I'm around here being negated?
On
you think
blogs?
I'm on book number 7? Who reads blogs? I was on Oprah. I was in Newsweek. I was on Bill O'Reilly.
Right, but
Who's reading blogs?
Dang.
But that was because of your past with.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't because of what you just said, though. It's because I have a story to tell. So I have a compelling story. Everyone has a compelling story. 1 second ago was the past. Everybody has that. 5 minutes ago was the past. We were here 5 minutes ago. But my story is way deeper than that. It's always been deeper than that. So
no, it isn't. I mean,
when Oprah called me to be on her show, it wasn't because, hey, it wasn't about that. So to me, it depends on where your brain is. When you read Confessions, whatever you take from it says more about you than it does about me.
Yeah, I never read it. I just heard people talk about it.
See?
Exactly.
And look at you. And that's what you get for not having the information.
Most people,
you son of a bitch.
Most people have never read, most people who have the deepest opinions have never read that book. So they don't know what happened.
Wait, you said 7 books? I thought this was your 3rd book.
This is 7.
Wow, 7.
Yeah.
See, respect that woman. 7 books.
That's a fucking writer.
You know how hard it is to put out books.
I'm on 7.
It is.
It takes forever.
Not for me. I write books in like 30 days.
Really?
The editing takes longer.
Wow. So you turn it in and then they got to do the bouncing.
Yeah, bounce around for months and months and months. Yeah, and then the legal stuff comes in. So it's like 3-4 different editors and then legal stuff. And then we have to do typeset and then cover and all that. That takes the longest time. I usually finish my first draft in about 30 days.
You dedicate this book to people who've battled domestic violence.
Yes.
I'm just reading it. What is Vindicated about?
So I wanted to focus mostly on my first marriage because it was a turning point for me and it was back in like 2007 when I got into this relationship and we got married I think in 2008 and
do we know the person?
Yes, he's not named in the book, but you know who he is.
We're not saying names.
Well, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not, but it's obvious.
You can run your Googles.
Run your Googles.
I got it, guys. No problem.
Run your Googles.
Because this book is centered just on that, the legal advisor said that it was best that I don't mention. Because it's not like Confessions where we're kind of bouncing around from thing to thing to thing. Because it's solely focused on one thing. You want to be really careful about the legalities of that. So even though it's very obvious who that person is, I wanted to change the name. And also I wanted to give that person a chance to, if that person gets upset, I needed that person to be able to admit that this sounded a lot like him. I've had several husbands, so if this...
How many times have you been married?
3.
3. Are you planning on getting married again?
Yeah, I will continue to get married as long as I need to.
Until she finds the right husband.
Yeah,
what do you mean need? You said need, not want.
What happens is that I mean I believe in having. I do believe in marriage.
That's
I believe in having. I'm a monogamous. I might be a serial monogamous. But what happens is that after my first marriage, I developed a 1 flag rule.
What's that mean?
Okay, so what I realized in my first marriage and other relationships is that I would see red flags and I would ignore them, and then that would go on for years and years and years. And one red flag turns into 5,000 red flags, and then you're in deep trouble. You're 6 years in, you've wasted all this time. So when I see my first red flag, I just leave, no matter what the circumstances. And that red flag has to be serious. But I see things in people, a lot of insecurities, or when someone says something mean or looks at me a certain way, because I've been involved in violent relationships, when I see something that's even reminiscent of that, I leave instantly. So that's what happened in my second marriage, and the one after that, when I see, like, you know, people will say things like I was in a relationship once, and he came into my house and he said, "Why do you have all your book covers on your wall? Take that down." My first husband did the same thing too, had me take down all my book covers. You know,
But you were proud of him, though.
Right. Like, you know how artists have their plaques on their walls and whatever? I do it with my book covers, and they're blown up, and that's my achievement.
Oh, so they was trying to diminish your achievements for their own benefit.
As soon as I hear that, I'm like, you're done. I don't want to talk about it. You don't have to explain. Listen, great meeting you. Great marrying you, thank you, but I'm done.
How does it take that long, though? There's another part we need to talk about how you get that far, that you don't figure out that they're a douchebag until...
Because people put on their best face until they get to a place where they feel like they're in. And then when they feel like they're in, then the real person... Women do it all the time.
But you should let that, in my opinion, this is, you know, teach his own, but in my opinion, let that in happen a couple years before you get married.
When I married my first husband, I'd known him for 8 years.
What about the second one?
5 weeks. Okay, well, but that was for
ding,
papers.
Ding.
That was for papers. That was for papers. That was for papers.
Okay, and husband number 3.
He wasn't a citizen.
Husband number 3.
I helped him. It was an arrangement, but still, part of the arrangement was he never got his papers because
so you're clean.
He did the thing. He gave me a look one day, and it was a bad look.
So you never went all the way there.
Right, exactly.
It's funny.
He gave me the look.
So if you go to her Wikipedia page, the only relationships it lists for you is your 2009 marriage to Darius McCrary.
That was 2000. I think I was 8. I think we divorced in 09.
It says. Well, Wikipedia is often wrong. It says 09 2011. That's Eddie Winslow from Family Matters.
Oh.
It also lists, of course, Cool G Rap, which we all know, dating Bill Maher, and dating Bobby Brown. You have really run the gamut of random motherfuckers.
Nah, it's not completely. I mean, Bill Maher's random. Bobby Brown is
Bill's not random. Bob is more random than Bill.
Explain that.
The only thing not random, their names are just random dude names. I did a Bob, I did a Bill.
Why you say Bill's not?
Bill's not more. I date. Bill's more my type. So I date more people like Bill than I do like any. Like
and you're not
Bob
saying white. You're more saying a mindset.
Cerebral, yeah. Cerebral, white too. Like I usually date white guys.
Interesting.
I remember videos of Bobby Brown passed out on her couch. She like taking a right.
That came out. James Harden just got caught up like that today.
Really?
Yeah, the basketball. He fell asleep next to some thought, and she took a photo, threw it on the gram.
Oh, that's what's up. That's not what happened at my house though. So it was a different kind of story, and it wasn't like that. And this is before. Remember, like when Confessions came out in 2005, there was no Twitter, there was no Instagram. Like we didn't have any of that. So my book was. It was very shocking because no one had heard these things before in this particular demographic. So it was like social media, like the first kind of
it got it going.
Yeah, exactly.
It got it going.
And then so Twitter got new like in 2006 in beta. By 2007, we were all kind of on it and things started spreading. But with that particular situation, you know, I had known Bob for years. He's known my family, my cousins. Him and G knew each other. Like he had done something so disrespectful to me right before. That it was just my way of disrespecting
retaliation.
Back. Absolutely, because I think this is what I feel about people in general is that people always think it's funny when they disrespect you, and you should just like let it roll off. But then when you disrespect them, everybody stops laughing. And I remember one time Bow Wow told me that like my disrespect is like real, like it's out of control. He's like, yo, but you go too far. I'm like, but what's too far?
Yeah, far for you. Yeah, but you already violated me.
Right, you violated me. But then when I violate you, then you're like, oh my God, stop violating me. Like that's not fair. So, you know, my brand of disrespect is very disrespectful.
But before we start this conversation, Karrine Steffans is here. She does not like the name Superhead, so we don't do that.
I'm glad we got that out the way nice and early.
Very early.
Yeah, I didn't
know all this time you were thinking I was passing that out like on my.
I just thought that was a part of the moniker. Like I thought it was just like.
I liked you as the line she just ran right through. Do you hear the T-shirt line she just dropped?
Yeah.
My brand of disrespect is very disrespectful. Think about that. All right, move on.
Okay. But I guess your story, for those that may not know, I mean, you have been before being in videos, right, and before the first book, right. You had a relationship with Cool G Rap, and I think you talked about it in the book where it was very much I don't know if you weren't. Were you like an escort, or were you? What was the early relationship?
I was a stripper.
You were a stripper.
I was a teenager. I was under 18. I was like 16, 17 when we met. He's 10 years older than me.
And what was your Because I've interviewed your mom. I've interviewed you.
That's so crazy.
It's so crazy because in 2005, Miss Jones, we were doing a show. You were up here. We were talking through the book. The book was a big deal.
Yeah.
You had come up. We talked all that, and we had got into some areas in the interview, and you left the interview.
Yeah, I like to walk out of interviews.
I like to walk out of interviews is a mage statement. I like this.
You know, this is radio.
Like when you get uncomfortable, you're like, I'm done. That's it.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm done.
I'm a shutdown artist. So
but explain to me the relationship with your mother, because you mentioned her being on tour. But what was she promoting?
Yo, all I know is that I wasn't talking to her at the time. I was on my book tour for my product, and then I kept hearing my mother was on her own tour.
It was
That's
just
amazing.
it was Superhead's mom was coming up. I remember the book. It was like Superhead's mom's coming by. I was like, word? I want to see what this is. I remember we played 50 Cent in the room, and she was turning up. She was like, ah.
My mother was turning?
Yeah.
Yo, my mom's is weird.
Are you not close with her?
Do you not talk to her?
I don't talk to her.
Wow, at all?
At all. Like, I don't talk to bad people. You know, like, regardless of whether you're, to me, I don't care whose mother you are. Like, if you're not a good person, I don't talk to you. And like my other sister doesn't talk to her. Like the grandkids don't talk to her because there's something. I come from a long line of crazy people, and like certifiable. I know that my aunt had mental issues. I know my uncle had mental issues. He escaped from a mental institution. My aunt ended up dead in the water somewhere in St. Thomas. I know that I have like we have like emotional issues in our family, which I discovered later as I got older. And I really, not to be funny, but I really kind of think my mom may have a slight issue. My mother speaks in different accents when she gets around different people. So like when I took her to Beverly Hills, she started speaking like in a British accent, but it was a weird one.
So
it's like she switches. It's weird. It's just really weird.
So through your books, 7 now. This one's out, Vindicated. Didn't expect this interview to be this interesting, which appreciate you. I do want to talk, though, about mental health, right? Yes. And I do want to talk about therapy, because have these books for you been your
catharsis?
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, first,
and then going into it, did you know that's what you were doing?
Well, I've been writing books since I was 5. So my first book I wrote, I was 5. It was about kindergarten. So
it's a good topic matter for a 5-year-old. I mean, I'll be honest, one of the main subjects you know about.
It was about kindergarten my whole year, and this the whole thing. So I also come from a long line of writers. So my grandfather, my great grandfather, like they owned a newspaper. They were photographers. So it's part of my heritage. It's what I've always grew up doing. And so for me, people keep diaries and things, and I always did that, and they just turned into these little books. Confessions was pieces of my diary that that I have been writing over the years. All my writing serves as catharsis for me. It's how I let things go and give it back to the universe. Like, I'm done with this, and I write it down. And once I finish writing it, I literally no longer own it. I'm not holding it.
Yeah, because you said you even have selective memory. Is that a part of it? Like when you came in, you didn't remember that you had been here in 2005. You don't remember me.
I thought I'd never met you. I thought I'd never met you. I don't hold on to things. I don't hold on to grudges. I don't hold on to pain. I don't hold on to grief. I don't hold on to things. I let things go. My grandmother said something to me when the first book came out. She says, I'm so proud of you. She said, because now, you never have to lie about who you are. And most people will never know how that feels. And she said, now you don't have to walk around all that stuff in your guts. Like you're lighter now. My grandmother, who's 84, that's the first thing she said to me about confessions. And that's a big deal for me. Just, I don't walk around heavy, So when I die, I die light. And that's important for me. To not carry around pain and past hurts. And I let my mother, I will let you go. I will let you go before I hold on to something.
And that's to save yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Preservation, self-preservation is key. So I do have selective memory. I just don't hold on to things.
I'm being, to be totally honest though, I still think you seem sort of sad.
No, I'm actually super happy. Right now, my energy is low because I was out last night at the power party, and that was super dope, and we didn't really sleep. I don't even know this guy right here. I just picked him up.
Just came along the way. Well, it was a good night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's this dude walked in the room. I thought he was security. He was like, nah, I'm just some dude.
I'm just some dude.
She's pretty. She's got a big ass. She was fun. And we in here.
He's cute. He came to I had an event last night. He came, and then we all went out. It's like a hangover part 4.
Yo, you a groupie for Karrine?
No. He was...
He's Superhead to former Superhead.
Really?
Yo.
He's the head of Superhead.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yo. Never mind. We'll talk about that later.
You just had an
I just
idea.
had a flashback. We're good.
Selective memories,
Selective-
flashbacks.
Selective
There's always
memory.
something. I know it's a lot.
Last night was a movie. Go ahead.
So if it's 7 books in, so
Yes.
obviously these things are selling. It's not a game.
No, it's not. That's my career. This is what I do.
Yeah, this is what you do.
This is what I do.
Vindicated.
Yeah.
Karrine Steffans, and this book is about one specific period and person, and it's no names, but it's not fiction.
It's not fiction.
This is not fiction.
No, I don't write fiction. I have a hard time with fiction because fiction to me, when I can't even read fiction because I just see lies. I have a hard time with that. A lot of my readers want me to write fiction, and I understand why. But I just see lies. I just see made up stuff. Even in the book, when I had to change certain things for legal reasons, it was very hard for me. It's hard for me because I like to just tell the truth.
Do you
period.
leave some names the same?
Some names, public names, they don't have the same privacy laws for public
Man, she
people.
knows all the loopholes now. She's a professional.
So if you say right here, it says I called Wayne. You're talking
Right,
about Wayne?
Wayne's a public person, so we don't have to worry about that.
What's your relationship with Wayne?
Currently, we're good. Like, that's my friend. You know, I consider him a friend for life. Love him always.
Friends with benefits or just friends?
No, I haven't hit that since after him and Christina did that that really horrible they had that sort of fire thing that was so bad, and I think he felt kind of low after that. So like I kind of you know, but it
is
was
that shade? Are you being shady?
No shade,
no shade, no tea.
no.
No.
Was that? Y'all saw
But-
that. I wasn't just me.
No.
Yeah, no, that was you. No shade.
Y'all
no.
saw it. Y'all saw it. Let's not act like you didn't see the performance. Rolling Stone was
Yeah, but I didn't
horrible.
know. But wait, you're saying that you haven't hit that since that.
It was like 2 days after that.
No, but my point is,
But before that, we weren't like I might have been with him in that way once in like a year and change. Like we don't.
so are you saying that song turned you off to him? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think this is what I think, and this is me being super honest. I think that as an artist, as someone who has to create something out of nothing, it's important that we pair ourselves with the right people. When I was with Wayne, I wrote my best stuff. You know, I felt like when he was with me, he wrote his best stuff. When he was trying to figure out his new style, that singing thing that he started doing, he was with me on the bus singing into a remote control. Like, how does this sound? When he was starting to learn to play guitar, he was with me. I feel like certain
Yeah, but
people,
hold on. Did you stick around when that actually happened? Because if so, we might have to change this conversation. Because if you were on the bus when he wrote Prom Queen, someone needs to escort her out of the building.
Oh,
Well, that album, the rock album.
no, I wasn't on the bus then. That
Okay.
was-
And by the way, I love Wayne, but we know that album was not his, generally what people see as his highest moment.
Okay.
this is what I feel. I feel
Carter
like
4? Is that 4? Yeah.
as a creative person, I think it's important to surround yourself with people who inspire you. I think that when we surround ourselves with like bums or like losers or like has-beens or people who just aren't hot, then our art becomes not hot. So not that performance turned me off from him. It just kind of solidified for me that I don't want to be I don't want you to be hanging out with not hot people and then hanging out with me too. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Oh, so the shade was for Miss Millie.
no, it's for anybody who's not hot. I just feel like I just want everyone around me to pop, and I just felt like the formula got mixed up somewhere. You know what I mean? Things have changed a lot. I mean, all of our lives have changed. So even in my life, I had to get rid of people who just weren't creatively popping for me.
It was Rebirth, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't think it was one of the Carters.
Wow.
It wasn't the
Oh,
Carter. The Carter had a bunch of
So
shit on.
on that note, because it's interesting, because you said I need people around me that basically, and I'll paraphrase, that are basically popping, because that inspires you.
Yeah, exactly. Like I love when I do a lot of my writing, I write in studio with friends. So I have friends who are creating music, not just artists, but sometimes I have friends who write for artists.
But the stories you're telling are factual stories,
Absolutely.
and they're relationship stories. So is the inspiration the relationship, the sex, the escapade, what is it? Because you're writing fact, right? This is non.
But you still need creative juices flowing.
Yeah, because sometimes
Right,
it's
but-
hard to write. It's hard to write. Because the thing about being a writer is that you don't get to talk to other people while you're doing it. You're in a room by yourself, and it makes you feel a little crazy because you have to talk to yourself all day. I write for 10, 12 hours a day, which is how I get to finish books so quickly. I need to get out of my house, so I switch locations. So I'll go to a hotel, sit in the lobby so I can hear
Freshen
people
up
talking.
the vibe.
Yeah, and then sometimes I'll wake up 4 o'clock in the morning and I want to write, but I don't know how. So I'll call a friend. Hey, are you in the studio? I'm coming down. I grab my laptop and I'm just in there because the music, the people. So I just need creative energy. And so I feel like when people pair creative people, when we're around other people who may not be as creative or who suck our creation from us, some people,
or who just suck.
Well, okay. Was that shade?
No, I was joking. I don't really care about the situation. I'm saying,
I
thought that's what you're saying.
Superhead, she just.
No, I meant
that's how she took
I think
it,
she's no, she didn't mean
I
that.
didn't take it like that.
She didn't mean that. She means I'm talking about the other person and saying that person sucks. I don't think that, but it seems like you think that. So
I just feel like not. I mean, honestly,
there's a lot of sucking going on.
I know,
sucking galore.
I'm trying to figure out a way to make this make sense. When it comes to Wayne, I've seen Wayne at his most creative, and I know what was happening around him at the time. And I know.
Can we get that back? Whatever that was.
And I know who was around him, what was happening at that time. I wish I could go back and same thing for me. It was a really creative time for me too because of what was happening around us.
You miss Lil Wayne.
I miss.
Weezy F.
I miss who we were at that time, and my love for him is.
I was just gonna say that you love him.
I love him sincerely, like dearly. And when he was sick, I've been with him while he was sick. I've seen him crouched at the around a toilet bowl, migraines, shaking. I've been there for him. I've seen him cry. Like I've been there for him through like so much stuff, and vice versa. He's been there for me. So I love him. If anything ever happened to him, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I love him sincerely, but I let people go when they need to be let go. Whenever he gets into a relationship, we have a talk about that, and I let him do what he needs to do. When he's done doing that, he'll come back, and then we'll catch back up again. But if you love somebody, you just let them go. But I love him as a person. Like I just love that person. It's a good person. I think just.
Is he the only man you love?
Oh no, I love everybody. I love you.
Well, really? Hang on now. Hey,
you
didn't even remember me when you walked in the motherfucker.
It doesn't mean I don't love you.
That doesn't mean that's not love, man.
Girl, you don't know me. But on the level of Wayne, I'm talking specifically about Wayne.
Yeah.
Is he the highest levels? I mean, is Wayne at the highest? Wayne is like
and the reason I ask is because based on your past, right? Mm-hmm. And I've seen and met a lot of women that have come up the way you've come up, and it's hard for them to trust, obviously, which to fall in love is a trust. Like you're, allowing someone to have all of you in a way that you may not have with someone else. So is Wayne that guy for you, or?
When you put it like that, absolutely. That's why I think it's my love for him hasn't waned. You should
get out right now.
He's like, I gotta go. This is ridiculous.
She drops mic out.
Wayne taught me about, without him knowing, he did two very important things for me, and this is why the relationship for me, even we don't even right now. He's not. I blocked him from my phone. His number's no longer in my phone. If he's in a relationship, I take him out of my phone. I don't talk to him. Out of respect for what he's doing and for my situation too. Like it's just a good idea that we don't talk all the time. He knows how to find me, so when he's ready, we'll circle back. Wayne taught me there's two things he did. Unconditional love. I learned from my relationship with Wayne because he was the first person outside of course, my son, who I loved and still love no matter what. And that's weird because everyone's love really honestly is conditional. Even when people get married, they take those vows, but the minute they throw
it out the window.
Well, vows are conditions sometimes.
Yeah,
sometimes the vows are conditions. Yeah.
Yeah, but people take those same old vows. Like no one says like, listen, I'm gonna love you until you say something I don't like, have sex with somebody else,
right,
have a baby outside our marriage. And nobody says that in their vows. They're like, until the end of time.
But really, there should be a parentheses. It's like, or you do something.
Or that time when you.
Right.
Yeah. I will forever, no matter what, unless the following.
Right.
That's not how it works.
Hey, you start naming your things. Like, but people don't do that. They make all these these statements of grandeur, and they don't mean those things. For the first time outside of my son, I love someone no matter what he does or says. He's put me in songs we've gotten into fights. And next thing you know, I'm in a song and it's not good. And I got to make the phone call and but no matter what, I forgive him and I love him. I've never had that with anybody that didn't come out of my body. Like that's weird for me, but it's big because it allowed me to see that kind of love exists, So no matter what he does, who he's with, where he goes, no matter what he says, no matter what he does, I will always and forever love that person. A lot of that love comes from the second thing he did for me, which is he helped me get out of that really bad marriage, that really bad relationship. He doesn't know that he did it. And I wrote about that in Vindicated because, he was in prison for that time, so we didn't talk. We had stopped talking a little while before. I didn't talk to Wayne for 2 years and like 9 months at a point. We fell out.
counting. That's real specific.
Yeah, it was
so
a,
you was
it was
counting
a prison
and writing.
sentence for me, because we fell out over the baby that he had, because he didn't tell me about the baby, the first baby after. I'm not talking about not the one he had his wife, but the first other baby, with the Asian girl, and he didn't tell me, and I was with him the whole time, and he didn't tell me. Bao told me, and I felt like somebody else shouldn't have told me that. Like that was so foul.
Tell me, I gotta pause. Who told you?
Bow.
Bow Wow.
Bow.
Bow Wow.
Shad.
Shad Moss.
Shad Moss from the hit TV show SVU.
No, it's CSI.
CSI.
That's it.
CSI.
Yo, what?
I'm simply giving him his proper
Why are you laughing?
due
so
credits.
hard? You and Bow Wow cool, right?
No, we're not.
That's why
I was not shading Bow. I didn't know.
We fell out. We fell out over Young Berg.
Young Berg? How many random artists in a row are you gonna name?
Wait, so you was fucking with Bow Wow or no?
No, like me and Bow, we were just friends. We've been friends. We had a thing before, but we stayed really cool after. And then.
But you was fucking with Young Berg.
No, me and Berg are just friends too, right? But the issue is that I think Berg slept with. Let me not say that. So anyway, they have a personal issue. I don't want to say exactly what it is. It's not my business. But Shaw didn't like that I was hanging out with Berg, and he made a statement that I need to hang out with only like rich people and really famous people, and he was like, you should only be hanging out with me and Wayne, and that's it. And I just thought it was a real like douchebaggery thing to say. Like all my friends aren't rich, all my friends aren't famous. It's weird. It was just weird.
Listening to Karrine tell stories of the people she knows, it's like her personal life is self-destruction, or the Source Awards is literally just a list of random artists.
Self-destruction.
She's like, then Miss Melody shows up, you know what I'm saying? And Just Ice is there. And I'm like, what? You only know rappers? How do you know all these people?
Well, where do you stand right now, Karrine? Like, are you in a relationship? Are you dating anyone?
There's this gentleman over here.
She's been popping since last night. She's back.
Is this Hot Chulacha your new boyfriend?
No, I'm in a relationship, man. I don't know this guy. I just picked him up last night at a party. I'm in so much trouble right now.
You're really bearing. You know what I would have done? I would have ignored him when he was standing off camera instead of talking about it.
No, it's all good. He's cool people. I like him. He's super cute. He came to my event last night.
Don't need to include super cute.
You're in a relationship.
I am, but he is super cute.
Super cute.
Nah, but see, whoever you're in a relationship with, is that public? Is that public information?
No, that is not public information, and it will not be public information.
You're keeping your relationship very private.
Yes,
time.
absolutely.
It's Daddy Ostet from Stetson's
You know, this is what I learned about it. I used to think that if you kept your relationship private, that it meant you were ashamed of it or they were ashamed of you. But I realize now the difference between shame and shelter. And when someone is important and you love them and that relationship is important, you want to shelter them from all the things, especially that come with being with me. A lot of things come with that, and I don't want that person. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And he's a strong person.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's a lot, and it takes a strong man. It takes someone. That's how you know love, when you see it. So, but I'd rather not. I don't want people in my business, because it's the thing. I tell people this all the time. Like, keep your relationship off social media, because it's all good like when you're in love, but then when the relationship goes sour, then everyone's watching it go sour. Oof. And that part's not cool. And then you got to start like deleting things off your Instagram. You're deleting all his photos. Like, I don't want to go through all of that. So I'd rather just. And it's been years now. It's been 3 years.
Some people think their relationships are really forever, and you have experienced enough to know that they ain't.
They're not. They might not be.
No, they're not.
Not the way they are, at least. They changed.
This relationship is probably going to end. You know what I mean? I'm 36. He's a lot younger than me.
Damn, he just found out that you're seeing a new guy and you're dumping him all in this video.
All in one video.
Sorry, G. We were just here to talk about the book.
Wait, Karrine, I'm just curious. Hold on. What is your relationship, or how about this? How do the men that, I don't know, I mean, can I say the word exposed throughout your books?
Okay, sure.
How do they react to you when you see them in public?
Oh, I saw Irv Gotti once in a club in LA. It was really cool. It was really, really cool.
Everybody's cool. You never had like a real awkward confrontation with someone?
No, I've never had an awkward confrontation. I saw Irv. Where you taking him?
He's a rat. Security. Good night.
Anyway.
I need him back. Yeah, I saw, like, for instance, I saw Irv in a club in LA. It's my first time seeing him since Confessions. And it was really good because we had, before we all did our dirt. Like, since Confessions, people have gone to prison. People have gotten married, divorced. We've had kids. Like, time has passed. This is 10 years later. I saw Irv several years ago in a club, and honestly, it was as if we never stopped talking because we have memories. You know, like I love Irv. Like we wilded out when wilding out was appropriate because we had no social media, so nobody could catch us. Like if I didn't
until you wrote your book.
Well, yeah, if I didn't spill the beans.
Thank you, Karrine.
But I didn't tell everything, so I get more thank yous. Like, yeah, what you wrote was whatever, but thanks for not telling that one story about the because I left out a lot of things, and people who were there, they know like she left out the
bad stuff.
I did. I wanted, because when I tell stories, I tell things that relate to me and my life and how that person affected me. If I know your personal dirt and your personal business, I won't bring all that in if it has nothing to do with me.
Right.
I just want to talk about how you affect my life, how you changed my life, good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter, and how my relationship with you makes me who I am today.
So the original book was based on your learning from those experiences.
Absolutely.
Got
absolutely. And it was a rough road, but I learned a lot. And 10 years later, I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm in a really good place. This story in Vindicated is the last story I had to tell because it was something I was holding very close.
So we're not going to see you again. This is it.
This is my last memoir.
Memoir.
But you'll be back around promoting, I'm sure, another book at some point.
I'm a writer. It's what I do. That's what I do.
Vindicated is the book. It says New York Times best-selling author Karrine Steffans.
Facts.
These are facts. She wouldn't have 7 books if people weren't buying them. So no matter what you think and what you say, Karrine Steffans.
Yes?
Give it up for
Absolutely.
her.
Thanks, girl.
Appreciate you. Thank you so
Yo,
much.
thanks for not walking out on this interview.
Hey, thanks for not being a douche.
There you go.